Hi student, welcome to botany class. Today we are going to see the last part of plant kingdom, that is the angiosperm. So the angiosperm is come under the class that is Phanerogams or Spermatophyta. So what is the Phanerogams or Spermatophyta? The seed bearing plants. Gymnosperm also come under the Spermatophyta or Phanerogams. But what is the difference between the gymnosperm and the angiosperm? We already learned in the previous video. There is some of the similarities of gymnosperm and angiosperm and difference of gymnosperm and angiosperm. We already discussed. But very clear different, very distinct different. If the gymnosperms are naked seeded or open seeded plants. Why? Because the ovary is absent. But the angiosperms are closed seeded plant. That means the seed are present inside the case or in specialized structure, that is a ovary. So the ovary, it will be protect the seed, that is a angiosperm. Now in this video we are going to see the characteristic features of the angiosperm and the two type of angiosperm, that is a dicotyledonate and the monocotyledonate. And we are discussing the morphological and the anatomical features of both dicot and the monocot. Let's enter the video. Angiosperm. So once again repeat. The angiosperm is come under Spermatophyta or Phanerogams. Spermatophyta or Phanerogams. Flowering plants. Cryptogams, non-flowering plants. The algae, bryophyte, tetraophytes. These all come under the cryptogamy. Non-flowering, non-seeded plants. But the gymnosperm and angiosperm is come under the Phanerogams, flower producing or seed producing plants. So the angiosperm, the term is derived from the Greek word, that is angia means pot or vessel. So in this picture we can clearly distinguish. That is, it's a ovary wall. The ovary wall is present. Inside the ovary wall, the ovule are present. But here there is no ovary wall. Just the ovule is nakedly present. It's a gymnosperm, it's a angiosperm. It's a ovule structure is present a specialized structure, that is a ovary wall. That is, it's a pod or vessel like structure. Angio. Spore means seed. Gymno means naked. Spore means seed. Naked seeded plant. Gymnosperm is a closed seeded plant. Angiosperm. Spermatophyta is also include the plant bearing ovule which are enclosed. Plant bearing ovule which are enclosed in a protective covering called ovary. So those plants is generally called angiosperm plants. Spermatophyta is also included because under the spermatophyta gymnosperm and angiosperm is coming. Okay, so spermatophyta is also included the plant bearing ovule which are enclosed in a specialized structure or protective covering, that is called ovary. So such a plant, those plants have the ovary. Such a plant is generally called angiosperm. So clear, we can clearly see the distinguish between the gymnosperm and angiosperm. Here there is no ovary wall, but here the ovary wall is present. Ovule which are enclosed in a protective covering is called ovary. This is a ovary wall. is a ovary wall. It will be protect the ovule. Next, they constitute the major plant group of our earth. Most of the plants. We can see everywhere, all the plants is angiosperm. Even in the aquatic life, in terrestrial life, most of the dominant plant group is angiosperm. So the plant group of our earth, they are adapted to terrestrial mode of life. So not only for terrestrial and also the aquatic mode of life also is present. For a best example, lotus, pistia, wolfia. So like that, a different plant group is also adapted to survive in the water. But major, dominant is terrestrial mode of life in this group of plant. This group of the plant is originator. That means the angiosperm group is evolved during the early Cretaceous period, nearly 140 million years ago. This group of plant is originator in the earth nearly 140 million years ago. Now they are dominant in the vegetation on the global scale. Not only for India, in the entire world, the dominant plant group is an angiosperm. The sporophyte, that is a plant body, the sporophyte plant body is a dominant phase. The plant body is a sporophyte. That means diploid condition. It's a dominant phase. We already know that the sporophytic dominant phase, it will be originated from the teratophytes. The teratophytic plant body is a sporophyte. But in bryophyte, the plant body is a gametophyte. Okay, so the dominant sporophytic phase is started from teratophyte and it's slowly high dominant in angiosperm. It is highly dominant. Majority of the life cycle is occupied by sporophytic, that is diploid condition. Here, the gametophytic phase is slowly reduced. It will be slowly reduced from teratophyte to angiosperm. It will very much reduce in angiosperm, the gametophyte part, a gametophytic phase, that is a haploid. So, in angiosperm, the gametophytic phase is represented only in male pollen grain and male gamete. In female, the egg is considered a female. It consists a gametophyte. This only haploid. So, remaining all are diploid. When the fertilization is over, again the zygote is formed. The zygote is a first cell of sporophyte. So, the diploid condition is restored. Okay, so all the plant pot, the leaf, stem, root, flower, everything, all the plant pot is a diploid, sporophyte. Okay, so here the gametophyte is represent only male gamete and a female gamete. Only one cell or figure, that is a pollen grain, is considered a male gamete, egg is considered a female gamete. So this only gametophytic phase. Remaining all are except pollen grain and ovule, remaining all are sporophytic phase. Okay, so the majority, the dominant phase is a sporophyte in angiosperm. And the gametophyte is very much reduced. Next, saline features of angiosperm. The vascular tissues, that is a xylem and the phloem, is well developed. So that's why angiosperm is classified under Tracheophyta. So Tracheophyta means those plant group have a conductive tissues. So what are the plant group is included under the Tracheophyta? Teratophyte, Gymnosperm and Angiosperm. The algae and bryophyte are non-conductive. It do not have any conductive tissues. Because this group of the plant, it will be fully present inside the water or near the water bodies. But The teratophyte is the first terrestrial plants. So they grow on the soil. They grow on the soil. So it would be required for water for the photosynthesis. For that, have a specialized tissues, that is a conductive tissues or trachary elements like xylem and phloem are well developed in angiosperm. The flower are produced instead of cone. So the cone formation, it will be originated from teratophyte and the cone it dominant in gymnosperm. So what is the cone? A collection of the micro and mega sporophyll. The fertile leaf. The fertile leaf is called sporophyll. The microsporophyll means male cone, megasporophyll is other female. Okay, so the collection of the microsporophyll and megasporophyll is contains to form a cone-like structure. But this cone-like structure is not present in angiosperm. Instead of that, the individual flower are formed. The ovule remain enclosed the ovary. So that's why it's come under the angiosperm. The ovule remain enclosed with the ovary. Pollen tube is cell for fertilization. That is siphnogamous type of fertilization. What is the siphnogamous type? The male gamete are carried by pollen tube. Male gamete are carried by pollen tube. That is siphnogamous. So angiosperm also, gymnosperm also siphnogamous type, angiosperm also siphnogamous type. So water is not essential for fertilization in angiosperm. Water is not required because a different pollinating agent is there to carry the male gamete, a pollen grain, and the pollen grain directly reaches to the stigma. The pollen tube formation is occur. That is the germination of pollen grain. So it will be carried the male gamete. So that's why the water is not essential for fertilization. Double fertilization is present. We already know what is a double fertilization. Actually, the pollen tube is carry the two gamete, two male gamete, first male gamete and the second male gamete. The first male gamete is fused with the egg of female gamete, a female gametophyte, and second male gamete it fused with the polar nuclei or secondary nucleus. So the two fertilization. First fertilization in between the first male gamete with the female gamete like egg. Second fertilization is occur with the second male gamete with the polar nuclei or secondary nuclei. So due to the double fertilization, the endosperm is diploid in angiosperm. But in gymnosperm, the endosperm is haploid. Why? Because double fertilization is absent in gymnosperm. So that's why in gymnosperm, the endosperm is always haploid. But in angiosperm, the endosperm is diploid because it is a product of double fertilization. Here, the three nucleus are fused. So that's why the double fertilization is also triple fusion. The second fertilization is also known as triple fusion. Three nucleus. Second male nucleus, two polar nucleus will be fused. Accessor. The three nucleus are triploid. 3N, triploid. So endosperm is a triploid. What is the endosperm? It's a nutritive tissues to developing embryo. Angiosperm are broadly classified into two classes. Class 1 dicotyledon, class 2 monocotyledon. Dicotyledons and the monocotyledons. So first we are going to see the morphological features of dicotyledons. Leaves have reticulate venation, like a network, like a net-like structure. They have the reticulate venation. They have the main midrib. They have the main midrib. This midrib is divided into veins. This vein is further divided into veinlets. So like that, different branches will be formed. It looks like a net-like structure, that is reticulate venation. Seeds have two cotyledon. That's why it's called di. So di means 2 cotyledon. That is 2 cotyledon. So number of cotyledon is 2. 2 cotyledon are present. So you have 2 cotyledon. And the root is taproot. It's a primary root. It will be formed from the radicle. That is important features. It is formed from radicle. It is prominent throughout the life of the dicot plant. It persists to form a taproot. So radicle to form primary root. It will be persist to form taproot. Okay. So the another morphological feature, that is the flowers are tetramerous or pentamerous. The numbers of calyx, corolla, these are the flower pods, calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. There will be a 4 in number or multiple of the 4. Like that, pentamerous, there will be 5 or multiple of the 5. That is the flowers are tetramerous or pentamerous. And then the pollen have 3 furrow, that is tricloped. That is a 3 furrow is present in the dicot plant. 1, 2, 3. 3 furrow region is present in the pollen. That is a triplate. So next, anatomical feature. Morphological feature is forward. Anatomical features. The vascular bundle is arranged in the form of ring. That is eustill condition. So here, this is a vascular bundle. 1, 2, 3. It will be arranged in a ring-like structure around the pit. The center, the white region is a pit. The vascular bundle is arranged in a ring. And the vascular bundle is open vascular bundle. That means, in between the xylem and the phloem, the cambium is present. The cambium is act as a secondary meristematic tissues, which produce secondary xylem and the secondary phloem. So that's why the secondary growth is present. When the cambium is present, the secondary growth is present. Next, characteristic features of monocotyledons. Mono means single. Only each other, one cotyledon. It is a monocotyledon. Morphological feature. The leaves have parallel venation. That means the main midrib is present. All the veins, it will be parallel to one another. It will be parallel to one another along the length of the midrib. So that is a parallel venation. And seed has single cotyledon. Already I told you, it's a single cotyledon. Here, the radicle, it will first form the primary root. The primary root, it will be short-lived in monocotyledon. Later, it will be died as such a number of the root-like structure, it will be formed from other than the radicle or any other part of the plant body, that is adventitious root or fibrous root. So here radicle does not persist, it will be short-lived because the radicle only forms the primary root. Okay, it will be short-lived. So when it will be died, a number of root, it will be arise from the different part of the plant body, that is other than the radicle. That is a fibrous root or adventitious root. Flowers are trimerous. So here the number of the period, number of androecium, and number of carpel. Yes, there are 3 or multiple of the 3. And here the pollen have monocotyledon. That is one furrow, only one furrow in the structure. Next, anatomical features. The vascular bundle is scattered in the stem. But in dicot, the vascular bundles are arranged in a ring-like structure. But here it will be scattered. Like onion present omelette. Okay, it will be scattered. The vascular bundle is closed. That means the cambium is absent. So here only the xylem, phloem is present. There is no cambium. So that there is no cambium, there is no secondary growth. So the monocot plant, it do not undergo the secondary growth. So secondary growth is absent. Next, APG, angiosperm phylogeny group. That is a recent advanced system of classification. So the current angiosperm phylogeny group, that is APG system of classification, doesn't recognize the dicot as a monophyletic group. So what is the monophyletic group? So all the dicot plant, so dicot plant comprise a number of families. Okay, so all the dicot plant is come from the single plant. So that is a monophyletic. Single origin. All the dicot plant come from the single origin. So it does not recognize, it not accept, the angiosperm phylogeny group is not accept all the dicot plant is come from the monophyletic group. Instead of that, it traditionally classified under the dicot are disposed in the several clades such as earlier manguloids and eudicots. Early manguloids and eudicots. So the entire dicot, it comes from a different phyletic, not monophyletic, two phyletic. So what is the two phyletic? That is early magnolites and eudicots. Thank you, student. That's all about the angiosperm. The plant kingdom lesson is over. Chapter 2 is completed. Next, we are going to see the vegetative morphology.